Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And our guest tonight, I have been trying to get this man on the show for some time. He is the hardest working man in the service business and serving people in Indianapolis. And his name is Harry Dunn of the Him by Her Foundation. Welcome, Mr. Dunn, to Inside Indy.
Well, thank you so very much for having me. I'm super excited about it. Thank you.
I am too. Man, I'm just like, people just don't know how hard it is sometimes to get folks on this show, but it's because you are so busy. Tell people about Him by Her Foundation, what it is, how you got started, and how it's grown.
Okay, sure. Him by Her stands for Helping Improve Mankind by Healing Every Race. That's what the acronym stands for. In 2014, the foundation was founded by me and my wife, Michelle. And I was a homicide detective at the time. And we had just lost a family member due to a homicide. And I was one of the first to arrive on the scene. And by the time I made it home, we said, you know what? We have to get engaged, stop just talking about it, but actually see what it is that we can do about lowering the homicide rates and see what positive generational changes we can have for marginalized families.
Wow, I did not know that. Of course, I've been to your facility, but I didn't know the story behind it. So you were a homicide detective for IMPD or here in Indianapolis?
Yes. I was one of the only homicide detectives that solved 100% of my homicides. The only person that I know of that's done that prior to me was my grandfather, who solved 100% of his homicides for 32 years. And
he was?
He was Harry Dunn Sr.
Oh, okay.
I'm Harry Dunn III.
Third. Okay. Wow. Yeah. That is an amazing, wow. I see a book or a movie and all that. That's an amazing story. So how does Him by Her Foundation address those issues that you feel lead to the homicides or the poverty, or how do you make change happen?
Well, one of the things that a couple of things that we strongly believe in. When I say we, it was me and my wife. That night, while in our bedroom, this was birthed literally out of our bedroom. We believe strongly that job training and education is the best way to have a generational change. But we are tackling some of the systemic issues that have been hindering marginalized families for some time. And so when we launched at 30th and Forest Manor, which was at what some would call the Forest Manor Elementary School. I think it was Old School 74, if I'm not mistaken. And that's where we made the announcement in 2014 saying, hey, you know what? You all deserve to have an educational program, a school with wraparound services all in the inside of the building. A lot of times a young lady can come to a principal or the teacher and say, hey, I'm a young teenager, I'm pregnant, I haven't told my family yet, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but might need counseling, might need other health needs, mental health needs, and don't have transportation. And so I believe schools should have that inside their building. So you can say, please go to room 303, and it'll be kept in confidence and your family will be brought in as well, all inside the same building, so that person can have the resources closer to them and have that connectivity component alongside with them as well. And so it's not as easy just to walk into a strange location with mental health issues or physical health issues for young adults and young scholars, as some may think.
Okay. So you're actually a school, but with services built within?
Yes, we currently, we have Him by Her Collegiate School for the Arts. The foundation was awarded a charter in 2019, and we are a nonprofit charter school that's minority owned and operated. And so we have a 200,000 square foot building with 17 acres. In the same neighborhood of where we said we were going to arrive in 2014. That was at 30th and Forest Manor. We're now at 32nd and Forest Manor, basically. And that building originally was that we sought out was 42,000 square feet. This one's 200,000 square feet. And the inside we have a nursing school, teaching RN classes, LN classes. We have a vocational training school that teaches heating and cooling, general construction, and other trades, all inside the building. We also have a pre-K inside the building. We offer HTV testing, HIV testing, lead testing, family counseling, youth counseling. We even help pay utilities and rent for our young scholars' families as well. We believe strongly if you have that second grader, you really can't help her as well as you would like unless you address her older brother, her older sister, her mom and dad, who also may need some help. And so, lighting that spark in a young scholar's eyes just to have it put out when they get home is not a goal of ours. And so we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're just trying to add another spoke.
Wow. It's all encompassing, sounds like to me, and might even help the family, and take them to another level. So just by caring, that's huge. A lot of times that's all it takes. So, but you kind of took it was kind of challenging through the pandemic, right? Is everything back up and running and like you'd like it to be? I mean, as everybody did. Yeah.
We were awarded our charter from Ball State in November of 2019. So as we all know, just a few months later, it was announced that COVID-19, this pandemic has started and was getting worse. We obtained the building in May. And so we had 2 months to get this big building that had not been open since 2000, get it open and get it student ready. So we poured in $3.5 million in 3.5 months, right? And so we built 23 brand new classrooms inside this building just to learn that we were blessed with the opportunity of this building being an open school concept. And so we moved the entire student population on the 3rd floor in this building where there's no walls, where we were able to space them out safely. We had 0 COVID cases last year and in this coming out of this building, and we're still holding tight with that number today. All right, it's actually coming out of this building. We did have a couple of cases of where over the holidays, teachers and students, parents kept them out of the building, but we are doing very well in COVID compliance. And so it was a rocky, bumpy start, and it still is rocky and bumpy. We're not necessarily the school that everybody wants to be, all the other schools want to be around. They're considering us a competitor. And I don't think we should be considered a competitor to these other schools. We like the words of more like strategic partnerships are what we're more in favor of. I think we should be partnering with these schools. We're telling them, hey, look, the children that you're expelling and suspending, send them over here, right? And we're asking others to volunteer and bring your other nonprofit organizations and partner with us as well, because these kids need this entire village to come up and stand up and fight for what they believe in. And we're just here to help. We're here to help. Okay.
So say there is a parent or parents who are watching, say, hey, I want my kid to go there. How do they get them enrolled? And is it just that simple to say, I want my kid to go from this school to your school?
Yes, it is. Actually, it is. You can actually go to our website at himbyherschool.org or call 317-918-7799. That's himbyherschool.org, or you can call 317-918-7799. And we can begin, and you can click the enroll button online and just fill in all the blanks. And we're partnering with Enroll Indy. It immediately goes over to the city, and the city processes all the paperwork, and you are officially enrolled. And so we do allow you to come on site. We take families on tours all the time, all the time. And so we welcome you to come into the building, and we can enroll you here as well.
Okay. Now, share with us, let's close out with a success story, because as you mentioned, some of the children have challenges, or whether it's coming from home or them as an individual. But I'm sure you have a lot of success stories. So share one that's dear in your heart, and obviously without mentioning the student, but or students.
Okay, sure. Yes, I do. I have several. I'll give you an example of something that just happened recently. We just got finished with what's called NWA testing. Our test scores came back overall really well. The state reported that only 12% of Black children passed the ILearn exam last year in third and fourth grade, only 12%. So that means we're kind of settling for 88%. Well, we have students in here. We have a third grader now, reading at eighth grade level, right? And I just think that is just absolutely awesome. And we're the school for the arts. And so we have beautiful testimonies of young kids that are turning into poets that thought they might have been rappers, but we teach them that, that's nothing but poetry put to a beat, right? And, they're singing, they're dancing, our performances have been just phenomenal. Our Black History performance we just had was absolutely phenomenal. So I just have so many testimonies of how well these young scholars are doing. We have what's called a cultural responsive curriculum. And so it's a little different curriculum. In our books, we have Black and Brown students inside our books. And we have an African American History Museum here. We're really working on a lot of different angles, just trying to give these young scholars a different experience while they're here.
All right. Well, I have just really enjoyed this conversation, and we've only had the time that we've had right now, but I want to have you back because we could go on for 30 minutes easily. I've got a lot more questions, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I know you got to get back to the school. You got to get back to the kids. I appreciate you so much taking time out of the middle of your day to join us. Harry Dunn, the founder of Him by Her Foundation. Thanks so much for joining us here on Inside Indy.
Thank you so much. You make a fantastic one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And there you go, folks. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the folks at Indy Juneteenth. It's coming up this summer. After this.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
And we're back here on Inside Indy, and it's starting to warm up, folks, and I'm loving it. And you know what comes with, let's see, you got May and June. We have Juneteenth, and you might be going, well, what is Juneteenth? Well, here to tell us about Indy Juneteenth are the founders of this fantastic celebration event that happens every year here in Indianapolis, even went so far as to be a television show last year here on WHMB TV 40. And they are Twjonia Webb. Hi, Twjonia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing great now that you all are here. And then we have James Webb, the co-founder, her husband, here on Inside Indy as well. Hey, James.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic now that both of you are here to tell us about Indy Juneteenth. So, okay, I got a husband and a wife team here. So whose idea was this? Tell us how the idea started and what Indy Juneteenth is.
Well, the idea started about in 2016 when we were pretty much looking for ways to serve the community. We didn't see a lot, or little to no representation of the Juneteenth holiday, and we figured, well, maybe we should bring it down here to Indianapolis, and maybe we should, get the community involved and turn it into a big celebration. And so that happened about 5-6 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So Twjonia, tell us the meaning of Juneteenth and then how you all made Indy Juneteenth happen.
Well, the meaning of Juneteenth for us means freedom. It was the day that that this date was abolished in Texas, in Galveston, Texas. And so we use this day to celebrate this, this monumental holiday.
Okay. So now let's start off with the dates and times for Indy Juneteenth. And we want to repeat that several times during the broadcast because even though it's just March, we're wanting to get the word out there in advance so people can be ready. And I know there are a lot of components to this event, people who want to be perhaps participate, vendors and so forth. So give us the date, time, location first.
Okay. The date for the big festival is, the parade and festival actually is June 18th. And it'll begin at about 10 a.m. From 10 a.m. to 6. The parade will begin at 10 and the festival begins at noon.
Wow. Okay. So because you got a lot going on that day. So
Yes.
oh yeah. I mean, it's incredible. So I'll let you split the duties on what happens that day. So Twjonia, maybe you let us know what happens early in the day on Indy Juneteenth.
Okay, so we're going to start lining up at about 8 a.m. for local businesses and cheer teams and anybody that wants to be a part of the parade. And this parade is free. So if you want to be a part of that, you just go on our website and register to be a part of that parade. And so like James mentioned, we'll start the parade at 10 a.m. and we'll head on down to the Washington State Park at Celebration Plaza for our festival. And then James, activities for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's headed down to White River State Park and Celebration Plaza right behind the NCAA Museum. So at the festival, there'll be all sorts of things. There's already over 100 vendors there. We're going to have food trucks having things from like barbecue to seafood. We even got a hibachi guy that's going to be there preparing food in people's faces. We've got so many vendors, as I stated before. We're going to have live entertainment from local bands, dance teams. There's going to be a beer and wine garden. There's going to be a kids zone with plenty of bouncy houses and trampolines for the kids to do. There's going to be a health and wellness portion of the event because we wanted to add a health initiative to it as well. Because if you're going to do a lot of eating, when you're eating all your barbecue, you kind of want to get up and move around a little bit too, So there's going to be a health initiative, and they're going to be doing cycling classes and dance aerobics and all of those types of things. And there's going to be a chess tournament as well taking place. So, it's something for everybody, whether you're a toddler or you're retired. There's something for you to do at the Indy Juneteenth Festival.
Okay. Wow. That is just amazing. And it's a lot going on. So when do you actually start preparing for this?
We started about November, December. And then maybe we needed to start a little earlier because January, February came real quick and, and we got a lot of details to plan out. So. Okay.
Now, when it comes to the parade, and people participating in that, what are you looking for? Are you looking for floats? Are you looking for dance? What's been the turnout thus far? And what are you looking for? How are you wanting the parade to look? Because there really is an art to parades.
We want to see floats. I want to see local bands. I want to see schools out there performing. I want to see, I got a skate club. I like to see people on skates, maneuvering through all the traffic. Motorcycle clubs. I want it to be a representation of what Indianapolis looks like. And it's very multicultural. And it has so much the city has to offer. I want the parade to look just the same way. There's some people from the Caribbean area that are coming out doing a caravana sort of representation. There's a Indianapolis' sister city in Nigeria. They'll be there in African art, and they'll be in the parade, and so many other performers I would like to see come out. So I would love to see the local schools, the fraternities, the sororities, anybody. Okay, so anybody who wants to get out there and show their stuff, strut their stuff, and just have a good time. So. Again, and where the parade start and where will it end? What's the route again? I believe it's Blackford Street, downtown Indianapolis, and it's going from about Indiana Avenue in Blackford all the way to Military Park. So a little over a half a mile, and we're gonna, we're trying to pack the place out.
Okay. Now, that being the parade, the actual festival is where then? It's not at Military Park, right?
No, it's not. The parade, the actual festival is right followed behind that. It's at Celebration Plaza in White River Park.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's still in the same area, but not at Military Park, at Celebration Plaza.
Okay. So once you're done with the parade, just walk over.
Walk right to the festival. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Now, entertainment, do you have that all lined up? What we can expect as far as entertainers for Indy Juneteenth?
Well, we have a few entertainers, but we're still looking for, still ironing out that agenda and what that's going to look like. But we know we're going to have some local bands. We do have a young boy that's coming from Ohio that's going to do some rap. So like James said, we're making sure that we have entertainment, not only for our older group of people, but for our younger children that may be out there as well. So we are still ironing out some of those things. We have confirmed a few of dance groups that will be a part of that entertainment for the festival.
Okay. Okay. It sounds good. So now let me ask you this. Are you getting the support, James, from the community that you'd like for putting this event on?
I see it growing. I see it growing. It's much better than before because now I don't have to go through the spiel of explaining what Juneteenth is before I ask for the support. I see it growing. I think it can get much better, and I believe in time it will. We're still very new to the community and new faces to a lot of people. So people have to get familiar and comfortable with this, and I understand that. But I do appreciate the support we do get. We focus on who have been supporting us from day one, and we appreciate and thank them so much. Our sponsors have been very kind with us and supporting us as well, and I see the support growing. So I'm positive. I feel great about where it's going.
Okay, good. And again, feel free to mention those sponsors because we want to lift them up because a lot of people don't understand when you put on something this big, it takes support, volunteers, we'll talk about that, but also monetary support because this is all free, right?
Correct.
Yeah, to the community. So who are your supporters? If you want to give a shout out to them, that's fine with me.
Awesome. PM Phase, we would like to thank them. Key Bank, we would like to thank them as well. Marion County Sheriff's Department, we would like to thank them. The Idle George Museum, they helped us out a lot last year. Allison Transmission, a few others.
So we're always looking for sponsorships. And so there's a way that you can do that on our website. We put together a great sponsorship package. Some of those packages are available as well on our website.
Okay, so we've got that information on the screen for folks. And go ahead and give the website. That way we'll have it out there in case someone can't see the screen. What's the website?
Okay. It's www.indyjuneteenth.com.
Okay, pretty simple, indyjuneteenth.com. So, well, you all are doing a fantastic job. And I just want to say that when I first heard of Indy Juneteenth, I thought, man, this reminds me a lot of the beginnings of Indiana Black Expo. And I know that I can see this becoming bigger and better each year. And I want to stress to folks, because it's based in, some of it based in Black history, this isn't just for Black people though, right?
Correct. Correct. This is a celebration of freedom. And like they say, no one's free until we're all free. So this is for all people of all races and cultures, creeds, sexual orientations. This is open to the public.
Right. So just like we go to Italian festival and a German fest now, Oktoberfest, I go to all those things. So everybody's welcome, and it's not meant to exclude anybody. I just wanted to point that out to folks. So, well, we appreciate you coming on, and I'm really excited about this year's event. And you reached out to me about being a judge. Is there a pageant?
It is. I'm so glad you mentioned that. We are currently preparing for our second annual Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth pageant. It was an amazing event. If anyone missed it last year, please plan to be available May 29th at 7 p.m. We're going to have our second annual Crown Her Miss Indy Juneteenth pageant at the Marian University Theater.
Who's also one of our sponsors as well, the St. Joseph's College at Marian University. So yeah, I'm very excited about this scholarship pageant.
Yes. We have 5 lovely ladies from Indianapolis that's going to showcase their talent and skills. And so, yes, we would love to have the community out supporting this great effort and event in the scholarship pageant.
Okay, so you've got the contestants already narrowed down for this year, but perhaps somebody for next year can go to your website and find out how to participate if they wanted to enter the pageant.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Okay. Well, we appreciate you both for coming on Inside Indy and letting everybody know about Indy Juneteenth. Again, the information is on the screen there, folks, if you want to find out more. If people want to volunteer, if people want to donate, how do they do that?
You just go to our website and www.indyjuneteenth.com. Hit the menu icon and you'll see where you can volunteer, where you can sponsor, where you can sign up to be a vendor. Everything is right there on the website.
Okay, sounds good to me. James and Twjonia Webb, thank you so much for joining us here on Inside Indy and sharing about Indy Juneteenth.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you.
All right, thank you. And thank you all for watching. I'm Kelly Vaughn. This has been Inside Indy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
They say you don't have to be so strong, but this is my mother, my purpose. Strength is not optional. See, I lift her now like she raised me then, so I know my strength is super, but I'm still human.
Oh, look who's here.